They told me that Jesus was the Son of God, and when I came to believe what they said, well, it changed me in such a way that I just kept looking deeper and deeper into the stories that we were telling each other, and the music we sang together, and the ways that we communicated with one another, and especially that great symbol around which we were gathered, the cross. But more especially than all of that was the interest I had in this unprecedented fearlessness that I'd experienced as I was baptized in that one great spirit of love, and the clarity of mind that was a result of that fearlessness. And now, after having exhausted myself in my admittedly ridiculous efforts to play the role of a responsible man in my culture, I return once again to the God of my youth, the one who provided me with this great education. I give thanks to God first, the origin of all, first cause. I acknowledge especially as that acknowledgement defies my language. As I understand it, the divine is that which is ineffable, even for those of us who are lovers of the Word. Is it not fascinating that he who we might call the Word of God, him that we called Jesus, is it not remarkable that he himself did not write a gospel? Or at least those 4 gospels that were approved by a centralized religious authority. If we are to rely on the canonized sacred text as it exists today in the form of the various translations of what we call the Bible, then Jesus never put a mark on paper with his hand, as far as we know. My native education. What were my first lessons? Well, my first wife was a lover of the Word, an English teacher, and I signed up for her class, and let me tell you, the syllabus was daunting. Every semester, I came back for more, and although I never made the grade, the lessons I received were invaluable. The kingdom of heaven, she and I believed together, is like a man who in his joy discovers a treasure hidden in a field. In his joy, he goes and sells all that he has, and he buys that field. As I mentioned earlier, Jesus is the way who helped me to face this world when I had so humbly come to my own end at 22. And it was in this great excited zealousy that my first wife and I met. And if I had no memory of all this ridiculous and naive effort on my part to participate at such high degree of enthusiasm, although heartbroken at every pass, if I had no memory of those attempts, then I might just think I was a loser with attitude problems and a list of resentments. And that is exactly how I treated myself for a long, long while. No one's been harder on me than me. If you want to be better, do better, bruh, a young man once told me. Yes, thank you. I agree. And all these words right now are the result of many layers of doing better and accomplishing more and trying again, none of which I regret in the least bit. And if you have no use for these words now, God bless you by all means. Go off and do your own better. That's exactly what I did, and precisely why I am writing to you now. When I heard Jesus say, "Be perfect as I am perfect," it was on. Ego dissolution built right into the sacred text. When he said, "Sell your possessions and give to the poor," I said, "All right, Lord, burn me up." When I read that I should consider others higher than myself, I said, "Sign me up, I get it." When Paul said in Romans 13, "Obey the government, for it's God who put it there. All governments are placed in power by God," I wrote a song. For those who refuse to obey the laws of the land are refusing to obey God. I became a cop. When God said that true religion was the service to orphans and widows, God took me to a children's home in the New Mexico desert. And so continued the education that I mentioned earlier, much of which was a deliberate and sustained expansion of my logical capacity and the transcension thereof. And then, of course, is our divine encounter as we pass through the great and noble halls of plurality. Green and beyond, brothers and sisters. Save the whales? Hell no, we won't go. Let's start a commune. Oh shit, we don't even know how to live with one another. We don't know how to provide for ourselves. We gave away something of our humanity that might be represented by the Industrial Revolution or the Scientific Revolution, or we might just go all the way back to the domesticating of livestock and the transition from the hand plow to beasts of burden. How do you like to tell this story? The fall of humanity. That's why we might choose to say born into sin. It can be quite graceful. Born into sin. It links us all together, our ancestors, us, and our descendants. Sacred intergenerational exchanges, taking responsibility for what's happened to all of us, with all of us now in this generation. I was told that I was a new creation. I believed that when I read it because it sounded a lot like the experience I was already having, the fearlessness I'd mentioned earlier. Later on, as I was passing through reason, I would dismiss all of that. In fact, I more than dismissed it, I pathologized it, telling myself, you have to be sick and uneducated to believe that Jesus stuff. Now I teach at university, where we don't need God anymore. That's not what a university is, you dumbass, Trav. Universities were born of a Western divine drive to know and understand the divine through pursuit of knowledge. I'm sorry to all of you that I so arrogantly mistaught in those years. Even going so far as discouraging a dear student of mine from entering his study of divinity as a Jesuit priest. Please forgive me, as I was doing my best to be true to what I thought I knew at that particular stage of development. I thought I was so smart. Isn't that just how it goes? I read once that the degree of our enlightenment can be measured by how comfortable we are with our own hypocrisy. Whether that is true or not, I will let you judge. And then there are the different ways that sentence might be understood to represent a posture toward life. What I mean is this. Following the instructions of Jesus with all my heart and action has blown my fucking mind. The selling of my possessions set me on a lifetime study of a topic that one of my favorite content creators, Robert Breedlove, calls WIM, or what is money. Peter Joseph's film Zeitgeist and its description of the Federal Reserve is the next place I heard anything about the monetary system. And for me, that was after I was deeply disillusioned by the jingoism surrounding the 9/11 attacks and the weapons of mass destruction lies and what would turn out to be the anthrax scare lies. And all that was just about the time I was singing the national anthem at my police academy graduation. Hardly anyone believed me as a cop. And there was good reason for that. I probably shouldn't assume I'm that much smarter now, huh? Isn't it amazing all the stages we can go through? We are led, we are guided. Have faith, God is with us. May the Lord bless you and keep you, cause his face to shine upon you, be gracious to you, and give you peace.